You should play old Minecraft, and I'm gonna convince you why in this episode. I mean, look at how beautiful this netherrack texture. Oh, that would have been crazy. No, we're like 16 versions before netherite came out. And I'm using a pickaxe that, by all means, is a really bad pickaxe, but perfect in old Minecraft because you just value things differently than in modern Minecraft. And I'm gonna finish clearing out a lot of netherrack here, and then I'll show you what the plan is. And I hope along the way I'll convince you that you should play at least like a pre 1.9 to like 1.8.9 version. Alright, I just cleared out like a pretty big portion, and there's only like one layer between here and the bottom portion. So when we get it all cleared out, we're gonna have a really fun time with our high roof. But what I want to do today to simultaneously convince you and also get productive things done is work on the build palette. This is going to be the center, so I'm going to have like little pathways going out from here. And to work on that, I'm going to head back and grab some items. Blocks, I mean. Alright, so convincing you on the topic of build palettes. I realize I did just walk past most of my builds, but this pathway leads us to a very fun section of my world. And here we are, in a state of like extreme boredom the last 2 or maybe 3 episodes, I can't remember. I built a parkour course, and I just placed down oak wood for fun. Don't judge me. One of the big reasons on why old versions of Minecraft are fun is because we already know things about them. I don't know how I'm going to explain this very well, but when you always stay in the most modernist, newest version, things slightly change. Like mob AI could change. A mechanic could change. So when you stay and you stick with one version, which would out of necessity become an older version because you're not continuously updating, then you become a lot more in tune with the quirks of the specific version that you're playing. And one of the quirks of the version that we're playing right now is these forever lit furnaces. I find them to be just very fun. It's probably going to cause me a lot of lag with the particles, but still, I don't really care. What we're here to grab, though, is some of our building blocks for the nether. There's my coal. 1 point towards old Minecraft for just staying in a version and like being able to fully understand the ins and outs and the quirks of that version. But if we're talking specifically staying in like old versions of Minecraft, there's also the benefit of the art. And by art, I mean the blocks that you can use. Like I'll load up my creative world here. I don't even know why I'm over here, but I guess I am. This is the creative inventory. Do you see how little blocks there are? And because there are so little variation, or like you can't choose every specific color in a gradient that you would like. I'm really bad about doing this thing where in the middle of a recording, like literally middle of a sentence, like train of thought, I'll just get up and like go do something. I think I was talking about like building and the blocks in the game. And this doesn't apply to all versions. I'm going to be specifically talking about essentially release 1.0. This is beta 1.9 pre-release 4. I almost said pre-release 3. That has its own set of fun things. And in this version, the block palette kind of reminds me of, you know, the random like box of Legos that like maybe your grandparent has or something, and you don't find exactly what you want. Oh, that's right, I was talking about being able to find like any shade of colored however English works. You can't really do that in this version, so you just kind of have to make do with what is, and that's like a hard adjustment, I guess, for a lot of people, but it leads to such a unique expression of creativity that really isn't found in modern Minecraft. Like, modern Minecraft lends itself very well to B-Dub's style of building. If you're anywhere near the building scene in Minecraft, you know what I'm talking about, where it's not meant to be like enjoyed close up. It's very like framing oriented and whatnot, essentially turning Minecraft into a literal canvas. But this version, it lends itself so beautifully towards having ugly builds in general. I think it's a little bit of a fun concept. The stylized, like the best word I can think of for these textures is putrid. Like they're all harsh and ugly. So much so that they wrap around again to being beautifully stylized. Also, I can't use this pickaxe anymore. I had a good run. I'm on I think 9 or 10 pickaxes now. A couple of them broke. I'll use this one because who is ever going to use Fortune 2? Not me. For the middle, I kind of want to use grass, which is kind of a shame because I don't have grass on me. I'm gonna go find some dirt and grass and then grab my pumpkins. I had pumpkins in a chest and never grabbed them. I think I have silk touch in here. Yes, I do. Ooh, and I'll grab some dirt if there's much left. There's like none left. Okay, that's dumb. Okay, so I was talking about building in old Minecraft. So it becomes so stylized in such like an old Minecraft aesthetic. Nobody, not even yourself, is expecting yourself to build a masterpiece. Like, look at these. Ignoring the half of the roof that's been unfinished for like 20 episodes at this point. These are by all means not that great of buildings, but they work together because they're stylized. Like, if I built those in modern Minecraft, I would be much more disappointed in myself. And I understand Minecraft is ultimately a sandbox game, so people who play modern versions that are very talented at building and who like understand color theory and composition and all of these things, yes, they would never in a million years build in a version like this. But for those of us like me who struggle a lot, especially in newer versions, finding combinations of things that work together, like I don't want to have like a PhD in color to understand how to build something in Minecraft. So having these like innate set of restrictions, where you don't have a lot of blocks to choose from, it sort of chooses the palette for you. So you don't have to choose your own palette. And I'm a very like entry level artist, but choosing and like understanding palettes for yourself, that's a very difficult thing to do. So like an older version like this gives you a much better way to express yourself through building without having to be an insanely good builder. I don't remember what I was even here for. Dirt and the rest of my pumpkins. Yeah, there's some dirt. Kind of hoping that we had stone here, but I might still have like stone smelting. I kind of lost my train of thought. We've been talking about like building and art as a whole this whole time. But let's talk about like gameplay, because gameplay wise, I'm gonna go back through the portal just because I think that there are some furnaces that spawn, and yes, the furnaces, wait, no, the nether portals are desynced, so I can take the nether portal from the cave spider spawner. It'll bring me to the same nether portal that this does. Talking about gameplay, mostly for gameplay is going to be my personal opinion. Old Minecraft, especially when you get into like beta versions, it feels like the game is forcing you to slow down for a second and appreciate the world around you. And I feel like it's telling you this very discreetly. Like, there are so many opportunities in modern Minecraft to just ignore the beauty of Minecraft. So much so that it can often feel like a struggle to even just appreciate the slowness and beauty of Minecraft. I'm gonna see how this looks. This might be like way too gray, which I think it is. So I'm gonna throw some dirt in this one. Let's see how that looks. It's kind of yellow, but I think I'm gonna be all right with some yellow. There's also the option of having this dark wood. Let's throw in some sandstone as well. Ugh, I do not think I like this sandstone. It's not speaking to me. So in talking about gameplay loop, I keep getting distracted from it. But old Minecraft excels extremely well at having almost nothing, which when a lot of the fluff is like peeled back, like the bloat and whatnot, when that's peeled back, what is revealed in a lot of these early versions is like a fundamentally perfect sandbox game. I mean, like for me, a version post the addition of redstone. I don't think I could play a version without redstone. That's kind of why I dropped like 40 hours into Hytale when it first released, and there wasn't any longevity there for me because there wasn't redstone. Or not redstone, but there wasn't enough automation systems for me. That's just how I tend to play games. I don't know what my train of thought was. I think I'm going insane. Oh yes, the bloat of Minecraft. I just feel like a lot of modern versions are very bloated, and I understand it's a sandbox game, like I mentioned earlier. So when you add more options for people to use, that's a better sandbox experience. But like ultimately, Minecraft, when you're playing in survival, becomes like a sandbox plus game where these elements that you're manipulating in your environment, they're tied to some real physical progression in the game. So it's like, sure, it's a sandbox game, but you have to then go out and defeat the Ender Dragon and whatnot. So it's yes, a sandbox game, but it's more than just a sandbox game, and that's a good thing. Don't get me wrong, that's a good thing. What happens is when they keep adding a lot of features, and then what they do is add no compensation for those features. So the survival experience becomes increasingly more clunky. As seen by inventory space. You remember how small the creative menu was? I'll give you a refresher real quick. This is how many items are in the game in the version that I'm playing. And this is, I can't even open up my regular inventory. And I have the same amount of inventory slots as somebody playing modern Minecraft. Now that's ignoring like shulkers, ender chests, bundles now too, I guess, which bundles have been the best leap forward in a while. Big fan of bundles, especially early game. But there is no true genuine compensation for item inflation. Like it just makes the experience worse, and I dislike that. And that's no reason to start playing old Minecraft instead of modern Minecraft. The real convincing piece, the only genuine way I can make you play old Minecraft is by getting you to understand that there's something great about going from a modern version where everything's at your fingertips to playing an old version where it feels like you're so limited in what you do. What may seem like limitations is actually a string holding the kite down and allowing it to fly, if that makes sense. And hey, look, we're getting a nice sunrise with that. There's so much genuine beauty in all versions of Minecraft. I'm not a snob about who's like, only play modern versions, only play old versions. I don't care. I just care that people are able to appreciate beauty for what it is and some of the beautifulest things that I've done can only be accomplished in old versions. Like, just look at all these pigs that I have yet to like do anything substantial with. But still, it's gonna be a fun journey to end this. I just want to say thank you. This might be day 23 if I counted right, and I struggled a lot with like burnout in the last episode, but I think I'm doing all right now. Just completely sloughing off of school today has helped. I just was going to go because like I have a ceramics class and an art class that I kind of need to be there for, but like part of being depressed is waking up in the morning and be like, no, I don't want to do anything today. So like fully leaning into that has helped with the burnout. So I'm gonna work on the nether a little bit more. Gonna call it good there.